What's going on, everybody? Wow. I don't know how to comprehend this. Well, first off, I need to apologize because I vividly remember, and Ross can hold me to this. When I would ask fans who would you want as an offensive coordinator, I would say repeated times, do not mention the name Josh Gattis because it's not a reality. It's not going to happen. It happened. So I greatly, sincerely, wholeheartedly apologize to anyone who believed we would land Josh Gattis from the University of Michigan, the Broyles Award winner, this past season. I'm in completely shocked. I don't think it still has hit me that we have hired Josh Gattis. We have taken Josh Gattis from the University of Michigan. Ross, are you as stunned as I am in the sense of this hiring? Because not only was this name out of left field, nobody saw this coming. And honestly, I mean, this is probably I can't think of a better hire than getting University of Michigan's offensive coordinator who just won the Broyles Award.
I was blown away, Paul. I mean, straight up blown away, dude. I had no idea that this was in the works. I got to say, man, I mean, Cristobal, the way he operates behind the scenes is very impressive. You know, a lot of coaches have rumors that get leaked out, whether it's on purpose or not. You know, I mean, that's not the point I'm saying. It's just that Cristobal really keeps things in-house, and he keeps things between his guys. And I really like his approach like that. This is a fantastic hire. I mean, this is absolutely fantastic. Steele and Gattis as our coordinators, dude. I'm a happy Canes fan, bro. Like seriously, like I think we did a really good job with our coordinators, both sides.
I think this was the definition of a home run hire. He runs a very balanced offense, primarily run heavy. We saw that with Michigan this past season. Obviously, their quarterback, McNamara, was not the best quarterback. He did take him to the college football playoffs. We have Tyler Van Dyke, who's a completely better quarterback. But I'll tell you what, Josh Gattis as offensive coordinator can do with what he has. He can make lemonade out of the lemons he has. I'll put it that way. I think he knows how to, per se, utilize his talent. He's not, from my opinion, what I've seen, he's very creative. He gets out of his comfort zone. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of movement and a lot of stunts and a lot of whole other things that I want to see added to our offense. You know, all of that stuff, pre-snap, madness, whatever you want to do. After the snap, he sometimes throws a little madness into it as well. So I love seeing that. And I'll say, this last season, Michigan ran the ball 57.8% of their plays. That's a pretty run-heavy offense. We ran the ball at 54%. Because we started to use our quarterback more towards the end of the season. Now, like I've talked to you with Paul about, Michigan lost their deep threat. You know, their true deep threat in the passing game. They lost that guy, and their quarterback wasn't exactly the greatest to begin with. So I think that factors into how much they ran the ball. And if you look up like the raw numbers of yards per completion, yards per pass attempt, they're lower than ours for the simple fact that I think that they were trying to just keep things bunched in a little more because they didn't have their big playmaker deep.
He had over 420 yards of total offense. It took Michigan to the college football playoffs, something they haven't done since I could remember.
Beat Ohio State.
What more can you ask for? He was there for like 3 years. By the way, he was a graduate assistant under Butch Davis, if you care for that line at all. It's shocking. It really is shocking that we just grabbed Kevin Steele and Josh Gattis. Kevin Steele comes from Auburn. Josh Gattis comes from the University of Michigan. You get 2 Power 5 coordinators from very good programs. This is something we have not seen before. Now, I'm curious, Ross, who's going to be our quarterbacks coach?
Yeah, that's a big question now. It's a big question. I really don't know anymore because I know that Cristobal, whoever it is, he's going to keep it under wraps, and we're probably not going to find out until he's hired. That's just the way he operates. One thing I will say about all this stuff with Gattis, Paul, is I looked into it a little bit. I wanted to see, we talk about familiarity and connections in college football. I wanted to find out where the connection was in this. Gattis, when he spent 4 seasons at Penn State as a passing game coordinator and wide receiver coach, he worked under Oregon OC Joe Moorhead while he was there. So he was there with the guy that Cristobal had running his offense in Oregon. So that's where the tie is right there. He was able to get a hold of Moorhead, talk with him, and get the answers he wanted to get, basically.
Bingo. Love it. No, I honestly, guys, if you're asking me for, Paul, what do you think about this hire? I think this is over 10 out of 10. I think this is the best Miami could do. I honestly thought we had no chance in hiring a guy like Josh Gattis. They said that the reason why he left Michigan is because he wanted to be the head coach there. Yeah. Jim Harbaugh was, catering to the NFL. It didn't work out. He ultimately will stay at Michigan. Boom. Josh Gattis will be the next offensive coordinator at the University of Miami. This is a monumental program-changing hire. I'm just in shock. I really am. I'm speechless about this one.
Another thing that I saw too, Paul, is that he openly admitted that he didn't feel that Michigan was really going after him, that they really were giving him the credit that he deserved. And it was kind of like, wow, man, I just won the Broyles Award, for you guys. We just got to the college playoffs, and you're acting like I'm not a valuable asset to the team.
The one thing I will add, Ross, and I'm curious about your take, do you think Jim Harbaugh had any say in the Michigan offense at all? Remember, Jim Harbaugh, I mean, I thought he had a good resume in the NFL.
Yeah. I think so. I mean, I think, most coaches have their fingers in all the pie pretty much, They certain coaches, of course, do more than others, but I believe that Harbaugh at least oversaw the philosophy side of it and came to an agreement with Gattis that was the philosophy they wanted to run at Michigan. That's how I felt about it.
So, Ross, we understand at Michigan, we saw a run-heavy offense, right? You're going to need a good offensive lineman to succeed. They had good running backs at Michigan. Do you think we're going to see that at Miami, or we're going to see, more creativity, similar to what we saw in Michigan? Tyler Van Dyke, they're going to let him air out the football a lot, or do you think it's going to be a run-heavy offense?
The fact that we got Gattis as our OC and Mario Cristobal as our head coach makes it pretty clear to me that the run game will be important in our offense no matter what. To what degree, we'll find out, as the season goes on, of course. But I will say that I fully expect Gattis to be airing the ball out more while he's here at Miami due to the fact that he's got the personnel to make it happen. And he's that kind of a coach. He's a smart dude. He's not going to try to do something that these guys aren't built to do, like fitting a square peg into a round hole type of thing. He knows players' strengths. He's going to work with those strengths. I mean, what he did with that Michigan offense, it was what they had to do. He had to go back to the run game because they lost their deep threat. He had to bring it in. But the fact that he was able to make that work while teams understood they didn't have a deep game is kind of impressive. And that's where the motion and everything comes in and some of the hidden stuff that he kind of throws out there.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm going to have to watch a lot more games that Josh Gattis, coached at Michigan. But it's too early to say. I just feel like if our offensive line plays well, the rest will come to fruition with Josh Gattis as our OC, because I think that's the blueprint of his offense, is a good offensive line. Luckily, Mario Cristobal, Alex Mirabal, great offensive line coaches. This is Cristobal's cup of tea. This is what he specializes in, is having good offensive linemen. I think everything can click. So that's what I'm really excited about.
The way I see it, Paul, is that we've already got guys who can take care of our offensive line. We got a guy right now who knows how to run a very good run game.
Yep.
So you know what this should do at the end of the day? This should make TVD's job a lot easier. Seriously, when you have a run game like that, and your offensive line's picking up the slack, your quarterback has a lot easier time, straight up. So, man, if imagine TVD just comfortable with the time he needs to make the passes and let routes develop, dude. I mean, that's amazing. That could be possibly amazing.
So Ross, question. Quarterbacks coach, we'll see what happens. I don't think we're going to get like a James Coley. Maybe we'll bring in Frank Ponce from App State. I don't know what's going to happen there. Who do you think is going to fill in the other roles? Because as of like what I just saw this past 7 days, roughly, it could be anyone. Yeah. And we've just literally made home run higher after home run higher after home run higher. We had the funds. That's evident after these last two hires. Getting Kevin Smith from Ole Miss was huge. I can't stress that enough. I mean, who do you think oversees the defensive backs unit?
It's tough, dude. Honestly, it's tough, man. It's really tough. I'm not sure where we're gonna lean fully on that, and I'm not sure where we're gonna lean for quarterback coach either. You know, so we've got a couple things that we got to do, and a couple roles we definitely have to fill. It's just like you already mentioned, with the way Cristobal operates, dude, I don't know who he's going after, bro. Like, I have no idea at the moment right now.
I agree. No, it's going to be a name like we've never heard before, because we never heard about Josh Gattis at all.
No. Steele too. So, I mean, I expect it to be that way pretty much every single time there's a hire like that. That seems to be Cristobal's MO.
No, 100%. I mean, this made like headlines on ESPN. When I woke up today, I was stunned. I honestly had no idea. I didn't believe it at first. I really didn't. I thought I was still dreaming.
Well, dude, I mean, it's the move that Canes fans have been dying to see for so long, dude. I mean, just going out there and plucking one of the best of the best of the best from a school like Michigan that's got major funds, a school that can hold on to their guys that they want to hold on to them and elevate them within the program. Dude, this is everything, at least on the offensive side of the ball right now. This is the hire we have been looking for. All Canes fans have been looking for this kind of a hire, the home run hire.
How do you think this impacts recruiting?
Oh, I think it's a great thing for us, honestly. Any kids who are on the fence that are on the offense now, they get to go, hey, now I know the blueprint to Gattis, the guy who just won the Broyles Awards. Hey, I wouldn't mind going playing for that guy. Boom, boom.
No, I think this is a huge step for recruiting. I think this is honestly, I've said it previously on the show, monumental hire for the University of Miami. I strongly believe that. I don't want to get into like the long run. If he's here for a year, 2 years, whatever the amount is, I honestly think this is going to be the hire that gets us over that hump. It gets us back to relevancy. And I hope I am 100% right.
Man, if he can do what he did for us, like he did at Michigan when they went and they beat Ohio State, if he can do that kind of stuff for us, bro, you know how big it would be? We have not been competing against teams like that forever. It's been forever, dude. So if we can start to, and it's not going to happen all in 1 year. It's not just a magical fix. There's got to be a process to this. But as the year goes on, we should continue to see improvement all over the field, because we're not just bringing in good coaches. We're bringing in good developers as well.
So, like, I've heard like a couple comments here in the chat. If people have told me like outside of the chat, like he's like Josh Gattis is very like speed and spread is his offense. That's the way that they describe it. I mean, those two words kind of mesh well with what we have at Miami. We have a speed offense. I think we do very well in a spread offense, spreading the field out with our playmakers, getting them open in space. Do you have any, like, is there any concerns at all with Josh Gattis taking over?
The only concern I would have is that if Cristobal tries to get too involved with it and goes like a little more old school with the run game approach, my hope is that getting Gattis is kind of the updated version of what Cristobal wanted to do at Oregon, while mixing it in a little bit more with the spread offense style. What I can see happening, Paul, is I can see probably, especially early on, they'll go out of their way, I think, to try to get the ball out of TVD's hands early. Honestly, I think that's the route that they'll go early until they start to develop and start to spread things out more and more and more. but safety first, getting in rhythm, and then keeping that offense, proving that offensive line can hold up in the pass game. That's what they're going to want to see first.
I love it. No, I think it's great. What was I going to say? I was going to touch up on something about Josh Gattis. I forgot what I was going to say, but all good. So I guess so where do we go from here in the sense of coaching staff right now? We have Josh Gattis as our OC. We need a quarterbacks coach. I guess we don't have a wide receivers coach either. I mean, maybe Josh Gattis will oversee that
Yeah.
unit. I'm assuming
Yeah.
probably. We running backs coach is Kevin Smith. O line is Mirabal. Tight ends maybe Coach Field. We still don't have a DBs coach. D line Coach Salavea. Linebackers maybe Kevin Steele will oversee that unit. I mean, where do you think we go from here?
I think you really got to try to find the guy that's going to maximize your quarterback.
Yeah.
Keep TVD developing, keep him on that path. I mean, what we saw from him last year wasn't just make believe or just a one-time thing. It was special, and he proved it game after game after game after game. You don't just do that out of nowhere. If there's ups and downs, I get it. He came in and he rocked the freaking world, basically, dude. We got to get a quarterback coach that is going to continue to allow that development to happen. I mean, that to me, that is the utmost important thing. Even though we got our OC, now we got to take care of our quarterback.
I agree. No, I 100% agree. No doubt about it.
And special teams as well. I don't know what we got going on there as far as the coach.
Like, Ross, do you think, like, okay, so I understand we have the best coaching staff in the state of Florida. Do you think we have the best coaching staff in the ACC?
We're pushing.
So.
Yeah. We're especially if these hires that we get, these next couple of hires are of that caliber that we're seeing right now. We'll have that, and that'll also prove that yes, Miami wasn't bullshitting, that they were willing to spend the money to make it happen.
I love this. I really do. I think this is. I hate to say this too prematurely, but I mean, we should be contending for the ACC this next season. We should be for the ACC title game, hands down. We have the staff.
The ACC is not going to be a very talented or very blockbuster type of conference next season. So, I mean, hey, if there's a chance to sneak in year one and find that kind of success, dude, we're all for it, man. Every Canes fan's all for it. The quicker, the better. But hey, if we have a couple ups and downs, I'll understand it. I'm riding with Cristobal no matter what. I'm riding with this guy. So I think he'll get it right.
I mean, Josh Gattis preparing for ACC opponents compared to Big Ten. I mean, there's no Ohio State at all. There's no Michigan State. I mean, you got to prepare for Clemson. That's it. Yeah. Everybody else is smooth sailing.
Nobody else has a dominant DB unit.
No, not at all. Not at all.
There's a couple teams that aren't bad at stuffing the run or at least getting to the quarterback, but that they're still not complete defenses, though.
Right.
Even Pitt this year, while Pitt normally puts together good defense, and I believe by the end of the season, their defense will prove to be stout, but I don't think it's going to be as good as it was last year. I just don't.
I love how Mario just comes in 2 months before. We're like 75th in recruiting, guys. We move all the way to 14th. We jump Florida and Florida State. We hire Kevin Smith from Ole Miss. A lot of people were kind of in shock. Coach McClendon left to Georgia. Yeah. We then hire Kevin Steele, who was Auburn's defensive coordinator for like 4 or 5 years. We then go after Josh Gattis, the Broyles Award winner from Michigan. This is all in a span of 2 weeks. We were all freaking out, by the way. Everybody was. And I didn't think we would ever hire Josh Gattis. I think he'd be the last person we hired.
I was worried that we were like, when we talked about it, maybe the plan A, plan B guys, we just didn't get them. So we're looking for plan C guys. But, dude, we went to the plan A plus guy, and we got him. That's what's crazy. Totally crazy. I don't know if we could have found a better guy to bring in for what we want to do at Miami. I don't know if we could have, especially at this stage of the process.
Josh Gattis was the best free agent on the market.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Hands down.
Yeah, just run the Broyles Award. I mean, what else do people want?
So the Broyles Award winner is the best offensive coordinator, correct?
Best offensive assistant,
Offensive assistant.
or is it just offense? Yeah, best.
Yeah.
I think it's best offensive assistant. Yeah.
So we got the best offensive coordinator in college football according to the college football writers.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You can't beat that. You cannot. Who beat Ohio State?
Yep.
Which something nobody has done in Michigan a long time.
Dude, that was Harbaugh's. That was his whole thing every year. I mean, how good can you do? How good can you do? And then, boom, you play Ohio State and they smack you in the mouth. And it was
Yep.
just a problem over and over. Well, guess what? Gattis figured out a way to beat Ohio State this year, and guess what? Guess who benefited from that? Harbaugh's back in the NFL. Boom, that quick. So, man, this is great that we were able to pluck a guy from a school like Michigan who's got a very, very high budget themselves.
I'm curious in the chat, is anyone doubting this hire at all? Am I going crazy in the sense it's like a home run hire?
I agree thoroughly.
This is, I mean, phenomenal.
Yeah.
Outstanding. I swear, I woke up this morning, I looked at my phone, and I was just, like, I instantly woke up from it. You kind of wake up a little groggy, and then boom, you get the news, and it just snapped. I mean, tremendous hire in Mario. We trust absolutely. We were all a little worried. I'm not gonna lie. It seemed like we went after Joe Brady, Kendall Briles. They threw in Tennessee's offensive coordinator, Josh Gattis. Phenomenal.
So one thing or two things I want to bring up here about Gattis is I thought it was interesting to find out that he did spend 1 year as a graduate assistant under Butch Davis in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
He was there on the Vanderbilt teams with James Franklin when they've got wide receiver Jordan Matthews to be all SEC 2 years. All SEC 2 years in a row. And then now we got to remember too, Gattis was also the guy who was working with Jerry Jeudy. So, and that was the year that he won the Biletnikoff. So, I mean, he's got two phenomenal wide receivers right there that people can reference basically and say, hey, look, he's more than just a run guy. He can make the pass work.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, I'm not worried. We have a strong running back group. We have a strong quarterback. We're going to utilize our pass game heavily. I mean, our wide receiver core, I feel like there's talent. There's a lot of talent. It just, we'll learn a lot more about them this upcoming season.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how we utilize our tight ends, man. I really am. So, we got some young guys who are promising. Yeah,
that's something Michigan likes to do.
Yep. I'm very curious to see how we utilize our tight ends, dude. I could see Mallory possibly playing a role kind of like Jake Butt did. I could see something very, very similar to that. And then behind him, having guys who are more the pass catching, big play type of guy. And don't get me wrong, Mallory can break them off here or there, but guy like Arroyo, get him involved in this. See what he can do as a young player and get him in the pass game.
100%. No, I completely agree. Remember, this is Will Mallory's the last year of college football. I would like to see him finish on a high note. I really would.
Absolutely.
Ross, have you spoken to any, recruits on the Josh Gattis hire, kind of their initial reactions? I'm sure they're all kind of in shock as we are.
Yeah, I've spoken to a couple of them. I don't know if I can say names honestly at the moment here. Just for the fact that I didn't ask, but yes, I did speak to a couple 2023 wide receiver recruits, and they said immediately to me, this is the game-changing type of – one said a game-changing type of move, and the other one just said, my eyes are on Miami now.
There you go. Hey, this is it's monumental for the program. Recruiting, it's going to up it a lot. Mario is an outstanding recruiter, but bringing in Power 5 coordinators is going to change things on a different level.
It's the caliber, look at Florida going out and trying to be clever and hiring a guy like Napier and stuff, blah, blah, blah. Dude, screw that, Screw that. We did so much better, and we're doing so much better than Florida State and Florida with our coaching staffs. Dude, I guarantee that after this Gattis move, Florida State getting a little worried. They're getting a little worried.
Well, I think, Ross, we have one of the best coaching staffs, in the nation. I think it's a top 10 coaching staff. We're getting coaches, assistant coaches from Power 5 programs. Previously, we would get assistant coaches from primarily G5 programs, or when they would coach at Miami, they would go back to G5 programs where, the coaches we hired here, Josh Gattis is going to be a potential head coach. Kevin Steele, he'll probably end up at a Power 5 school. Kevin Smith, he'll probably end up at another Power 5 school. And this is, when they leave the University of Miami. You had Coach Packey coaching linebackers, and he was at, I don't know, Incarnate World is the name of the school he's coaching at. It sounds like a Hogwarts institution. I mean,
it's Incarnate
sounds like a Harry Potter movie. Incarnate World, literally. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Rhett Lashley gets the head coaching job at SMU. Rob Likens goes to SMU, but we're getting Power 5 coaches. Our budget has expanded, and I think we have one of the stronger budgets in the country.
It's nice to see the proof in the pudding, It's not just talk, Paul. We're seeing it happen. They said they'd spend the money, and they're actually going out and spending it. And it is such a change. It's so refreshing to have something like this happening at Miami, because we were sold a lot of false goods, especially with the Manny Diaz staff. We were told that money was being put into the program. We were told that things were changing. But, dude, those were all words. The actions didn't show it, ever. Now we're seeing the actions match up to the words, and that's how you possibly get something special started at a university.
All right, 28 minutes in, over 140 people joining us live. Thank you so much. We do this on the fly. If you can hit the subscribe button, hit the like button to support our channel, greatly appreciate it. Ross, anything you want to cover we have not mentioned yet so far?
We've been making some interesting offers to recruits in the 2023 class. We re-offered a defensive end / Andrew Rumpf from Palmetto, the other Palmetto school, not the one that everyone thinks of. He's from that. You said there's two, right?
There's one in like North Florida, and then there's one in Miami.
Yeah, I think he's the one in North. 6'6", 252 pounds. Great physical traits. Like he's got the tools that you can either add weight to him and have him on the inside and have him explosive, or he can slide to the outside. And he kind of does that seamlessly right now in high school. But as he gets older, my guess is that he'll probably put the weight on and be a dominant interior force. But it sounds like we're really heavy on him. We also heavy on four-star wide receiver, four-star athlete wide receiver, Rashid Williams. He's a 6'2", 185-pound, good hands, nice moves off the snap. I mean, I watched him absolutely make corners look foolish off the snap, dude.
Really?
Just a couple of shimmies, dude, and just gone. Really knows how to get separation, and he's ultra competitive. He's just super, super competitive by his nature. TJ Metcalf is a safety for everyone to be watching out from. He's from Pinson Valley. This is the second Pinson Valley guy that we've gone after in about the last 2 weeks. So our eyes obviously are on that region right there. And then Tosin Babalade, guy from DeMatha Catholic I was telling you about, Paul. I mean, just a beast, dude. Just a beast. 6'5", 296-pound offensive tackle, playing at a school like DeMatha Catholic, who's playing against really, really good talent. So, dude, I can see that we're identifying certain areas, and we're not just going there and saying, oh, we want this one guy there. No, we're going to the area, and we're searching for more talent. We get the initial guy in, but, dude, I've noticed we kind of stick around a little bit and start going, hey, man, we saw some other guys we like. Let's look at the film. And then a week or so, we make them an offer. I like it.
Yeah. But by the way, who's the recruit you put on Twitter that Mario Cristobal and Coach Mirabal liked your post?
Kyler Casper.
That kid's going to be really good.
Dude, 6'5", wide receiver, dude, out of Arizona. That kid absolutely blew my mind, dude. I mean, he blew my mind. And this isn't a guy who's 6'5" that they need to put weight on to turn to a tight end. No. This is a 6'5" athletic wide receiver. There's no doubt about it, dude.
I think there's like from what I'm seeing, Ross, there's a high level of respect for Mario Cristobal on the recruiting trail. From players, I mean, just maybe in the coaching ranks, from players in general. There's a high level of respect to want to be recruited by Mario or, hear him out, I would say.
Another
people
thing,
respecting.
Sorry, maybe, but I was just saying another thing is that families also love Cristobal. The moms and the dads that show up to the events, they love him as well. And that's a big deal in recruiting, especially when you're going, hey, we need your son to move from Tacoma, Washington to Miami to come play football like Jaden Wayne. So I mean, it's so vitally important, dude, that those relationships with the parents are just as good as the relationship with the recruit.
By the way, Jaylen Brown, local wide receiver out of Gulliver Prep, he was getting heavily recruited by Michigan. This was before the Josh Gattis hiring, before the Mario Cristobal hiring at Miami. I think we're in a great spot with Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
Just my opinion.
I think we're in a better spot now than we were without an OC. I mean, I always feel that. I mean, anytime you don't have a coordinator somewhere, you got to kind of wonder, well, what's going to happen? Thankfully, they were still able to bring in talent while we went and got our coordinators. That's what's special about Mario Cristobal. He didn't have to get the full staff together to get talent coming in. He got talent coming in while he put the staff together. That's not typical. It really isn't, but that just shows his recruiting chops.
I would say this. We finished 14th in the nation. Mario was here for 2 months. Imagine 12 months. Imagine 2 years.
Yeah.
3 years.
He wants to be here for the long haul, right? You know, you don't leave Oregon for no reason. You don't leave Oregon to come to a school like Miami who's not had success for a while unless you want to be there and you want to make something special out of it. And him being a former player only makes him even more want to get the program back on its feet. I love it, man. I mean, I don't know if I could be happier with these hires, dude, honestly, especially with the guys who I thought in my mind might be options. Nah, these blew them out of the water.
We have over 156 people watching us live, 33 minutes in. We only have 45 likes. If you guys can smash the like button, hit subscribe, we would greatly appreciate it to support this channel. We do this on the fly. We don't schedule really our live shows. We just go live when we want to go live. So mean the world to us if you can do that. Josh Gattis, man, he's our offensive coordinator. Caught me by surprise. I know it probably caught everyone and their mom by surprise. He was a name never mentioned. University of Michigan's offensive coordinator, and he won the Broyles Award as the top assistant in the country. Phenomenal hire.
I was kind of like you, Paul. When I first heard it, I didn't know if it was real or not. I mean, I really didn't. I had to stop what I was doing and go look at, outlets, sports outlets that I, respect and know don't put out BS articles. Dude, and I started seeing it, and I was just, just ear to ear smile. I think, dude, by the time I was watching, I couldn't believe it. In my mind, I'm just thinking, how the hell did they do this? How the hell did they do this? How the freaking hell did they do this?
I really don't know either. I thought it was like not even possible. I honestly thought Josh Gattis coming here was not realistic at all.
I figured if anything was going to happen with Gattis, Michigan would either start to treat him properly and elevate him, or do whatever they're going to do as far as his contract, or an SEC team was just going to come and pluck him. That was kind of what I was thinking, dude. The fact that we got him, we're making moves that teams that impact or have an impact nationally do. Not just teams that are in their own conference making noise, teams that have an impact across the nation. We're putting together a staff just like that.
I agree. No, I think it's phenomenal. I really do. Anything you want to cover, Ross? I know it's been a crazy off-season roller coaster ride, high emotions, but I think it ended 10 out of 10. I really did. Really do.
So far, yeah. I don't know what else they could have done, dude. I mean, A+ hire, like Joe Wren just said. I mean, absolutely A+. There's no question about it. It really gives me hope for who our quarterback coach is going to be, Paul, because this is what Cristobal does, and he's low key about it, and we don't know, and we don't hear the rumors, dude. and he pulls somebody just fantastic. I have a really good feeling that he's working his game, and he's going to convince somebody that they need to come to Miami to work with TVD.
I think Gattis is going to have a say as well. I think he's going to have a strong say.
Yeah, because he's earned that respect. Honestly, he's earned that respect as an offensive coordinator who should have a say in everything in his offense and around his offense.
I think we're going to get Connerly. I really do.
Feeling good about it, huh?
Yeah. Feeling really good after today.
I think it's still a little bit of a battle. I think there's still a battle going on, but I think we're in one of the best positions that we could have been in, and I think Gattis only helps solidify what's going to happen on offense. So now when we go, hey Connerly, come play to Miami. Look at our tape. Look at our offensive coordinator's film. This is what we do, and boom, we got that right there to show them the Broyle Award-winning offensive film.
All right. Well, if you guys can hit subscribe, hit the like button. We're about to wrap it up. 36 minutes in. Ross, anything else you want to add before we wrap it up quickly?
No, man, just recruiting's been pretty wild, and I'm loving it. it's been wild as hell, but I'm loving it, man. Keeping me busy. We're making offers nationwide. I love this approach. Last time I talked to Coach Field, he said basically it was just like, I haven't had a chance to even slow down yet. Like he's like, I haven't even had a chance to like catch my breath. Really, he said he's just been on the move. Boom, 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 boom.
And no, I mean, look, they're doing a tremendous job. I think I mean, I hate comparing to the past staff. They're doing a good job. They're doing a much better job. I think we have a stronger personnel entirely as a whole compared to the last staff. If you just compare the position units we have filled right now, I'm very confident. And I'm glad we're utilizing our funds a lot more.
Dude, I mean, these guys are busy. If they have anything to do with recruiting, these coaches are super busy. And I'll say, too, another one, Coach Pata, same thing. When the last time he hit me up was basically, sorry for the delay of the response. I've been everywhere. Like he was just like, I've been everywhere lately. I haven't had a chance to even like slow down and make communications with anybody except recruits. But I was just like, dude, don't worry about it. Go do your job, But this is, every time I'm speaking to these coaches, this is what they're relaying to me, that they are just on an airplane or in a car heading to a recruit's location.
And it's the respect too. The recruits actually respect the coaches. Like it's Mario Cristobal. Like they listen. And I think there's a lot of fear with Nick Saban and Kirby Smart. That's why they went after Travaris Robinson and Coach McClendon.
Well, think about now the way we have things operating, Paul. Like we've got these big names at coordinator. We've got all that stuff going on, but we've also got guys like Field, guys who aren't in the public spotlight as much, but an incredible recruiter. SEC teams do that. They got guys who might not be in the spotlight, who might not be the biggest name of it, but they do damage in recruiting. They kill it, and they don't always get the respect for it. Field is one of those guys, dude, and we have him. That's an SEC caliber depth.
I mean, we have Field. We have Coach Mirabal, who's an elite recruiter. Coach Kevin Smith.
Salavea.
Salavea. I mean, Kevin Steele's going to oversee linebackers. I mean, the names keep going on. And Josh Gattis is OC. Screw it. You know what? Dante Moore, 5-star quarterback of Detroit, Michigan. Guess what? Ann Arbor, they're in the state of Michigan.
Yeah. That means he has
There's already a relationship. There's already a relationship, Ross. I mean, I'm not going to say, and this is just my guess, but Josh Gattis, he's got a lot of respect in the state of Michigan, I'm assuming. Best quarterback in the nation's out of Detroit. There's got to be a relationship right there.
Yeah, I mean, any smart OC for any big college would already be in touch with a guy like that, even 2 years prior, if he's that kind of a player. So my guess is they've got not just a brand new relationship, but they've got a very well-established relationship.
100%. I can't wait, guys. This is just the beginning of a lot of great success for the University of Miami. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's show as much as we did. Josh Gattis is the next offensive coordinator at the University of Miami. The future is looking bright. Ross, anything else you want to add?
No, man. I just staff keep killing it. Just keep killing it. I love what they're doing, man. I love it. It's so refreshing, and it's so nice to be able to rep the Canes in this kind of fashion again. It's so nice, dude. I'm bought in. I'm fully bought in, no doubt.
It's I think we're on to something. I really do. I'll leave it at that. All right, guys. Thank you again, and always all about the U. Go Canes.
Go Canes.